A new generation of leaders is stepping up in Boston's Muslim community, and they're ready to make a real difference, they say. Several were recently profiled in a Boston Globe piece, and joining me now are two of them. Nadeem Mazen is a Cambridge City Councilor and founder of Mass Muslims. Shannon Erwin is co-founder of a group called Muslim Justice League. Good to meet you. Nadeem, good to see you. So what's the mission of your deal, Mass Muslims? What's the point? What are you trying to do?
Mass Muslims is about a Muslim ground game for social justice and for community involvement. Muslims believe in their hearts that they have a responsibility to the betterment of their communities, but like most youth, American youth my age, all those good intentions don't actually have a place to manifest. So we're training people and we're getting out there to do that good.
And what's the deal with the Muslim Justice League?
The Muslim Justice League is a response to harmful war on terror policies that are targeting our communities, including in Greater Boston. It was formed by 4 Muslim women, Nancy Khalil, Elizabeth Dan, Stephanie Marzouk, and myself. We'd been active in our local communities responding as needs arose to legal needs or government relations needs.
I don't know how old you both, well actually I do know how old you are, but I'm not, I know sort of age range. Yeah. You both grew up in the post 9/11 era. I went to a lot of people, every Muslim is a terrorist. I mean, I'm sure you have to deal with that kind of crap. Is there a generational divide between Muslim activists of your generation and Muslim activists of the generation before? Shannon, you have a big smile, so let me start with you.
I think that's a really great question. I wouldn't say it's a stark generational divide, but I think that there's different perspectives. In some cases between immigrants or native-born folks, it's not a rule. You know, there are folks of every background that are of a similar persuasion to what Muslim Justice League believes, and that is that as Americans, the Constitution does apply to us, and that it's not only our right to use our rights, but it's incumbent on us, if we believe in our democracy, to use those rights.
What do you think about this generational deal?
Well, I think the prior generation was so focused on basic infrastructure, things that other faith and cultural groups took for granted, like mosques, places of research, like schools, which we still don't have very many of, institutions of higher learning that don't even exist barely at all. The first one just started out in California. We're now, as our generation, taking the reins on real groundwork, real social justice, and real civil liberties in a way that every American deserves, but the Muslim population hasn't always taken as a first priority.
Are things, in terms of public attitude, things are better than they were in 2011? Are they not? I mean, after 9/11, I'm sorry. Are they?
After 9/11? Oh, yeah, I'd say that the media circus is this thing that comes in cycles. And you see shows on television that are repulsive. And you wonder, actually, maybe some of this hatred and some of this ideological poisoning of the well water has actually matured over time. And I'd like to see a pushback against that.
Matured in a bad way.
Matured in a bad way over time. We've seen more and more negative advertising, more and more hate groups forming.
That are directed at Muslim Americans.
Yeah, public opinion has actually shifted to be more negative towards Muslim and
more negative?
More negative towards the Muslim religion.
What is that about?
You know, I think that my particular opinion as an attorney and focused on civil liberties issues is that that actually helps sustain war on terror policies. It helps perpetuate some very harmful policies. And
but you're not talking just about the public, you're talking about the government. Like, for example, when the president had, what was this, countering violent extremism thing, he got a huge amount of praise from some quarters. Others were saying, essentially, it was all about some narrow focus, as if Muslims were the cause of all terrorism.
Precisely, and frankly, the whole program's premise that we can identify people in advance of their committing political violence is not supported by credible evidence. So that's concerning, even if it weren't limited to Muslims.
So when you say you're doing political organizing, what's number one on the agenda? I mean, what's the thing you want to conquer at the top of the list?
The first thing is getting people out there. You're more likely in my generation to organize on Facebook than you are to know your neighbor. And if we have a duty to feed our neighbor and visit the sick and do all these basic things in the religion, then we've got to hit the streets, door knock, and learn how to be comfortable engaging in our local community priorities. And that's not the priorities of the Muslim community. That's the priorities of low socioeconomic status and middle class and below communities. And we need to be engaged in that first and foremost.
And what kind of, quickly if I can, what kind of reaction are you getting? I mean, is there a small piece of the population that says, yeah, this is exactly what we need, and other Muslim Americans are yawning? Or I'm serious, or are you getting, what kind of reaction?
I'm hearing a lot of excitement, and not just from within the Muslim community. I've been really heartened to hear the number of allies we have outside the Muslim community who say, this is so needed. I'm so glad you're doing this. It's about time.
What's your deal with Muslims?
I feel the same exact way. There's so much latent energy within and without the Muslim community that when we say we're doing common sense stuff, people say 3 cheers.
Yes.
Common sense is so yesterday, I'm telling you. What's your website if people want to find you?
Massmuslims.com.
And how about you?
We have a Facebook page. We're working on our website. Facebook.com/Muslim Justice League.
Toughest question I asked.
Yeah, and
Nadeem,
we should be
good to see you.
Facebook.com/MassMuslims is better than our website as well.
Shannon, it's good to meet you as
Thanks,
well.
Jim.
Good luck to both of you.